Well, hello, dear viewer. 'Tis Unclejona here. I wasn't going to do a beer review today because I've been out and about, but I picked up some beers from the place I went to, which is these guys, Pier Brewery and Tap Room, and there are some of the beers that they do. They are based over in Gravesend, um, which is in Kent, which is why I went there. In my yeah, I think I said yesterday. It's in my, how shall you say, one of the hats I wear for camera, being part of the Kent tasting panel. So we went there to do some beer tasting, and it was a really good day. Had a few too many beers, stayed out a little bit too long because I shouldn't really be out that much at the moment. Um, and yeah, they've won an award lately. End of last year, actually, it was for their cast iron stout. Yeah, they won a camera award, so we went up to try that one. And what we found is they do that beer in two different ways. Well, three different ways at the moment, and possibly a fourth way coming. But today we had a cask version versus their draft version. They do it in cans sometimes as well, but we didn't have a canned one. So cask versus draft, side by side tasting, and it's really, really interesting how the beers do taste different. And I got chatting with the guy, the head brewer there, basically, and I said, "Oh, have you ever thought about doing it on nitro?" And he was like, "Yeah, I don't know how we do that. We'd have to set up all this stuff and blah blah blah." And I was like, "No, just do it as serve through nitro. Obviously, you need to buy a gas bottle and do some taps and stuff, but once it's set up, you can do other beers through it as well." Um, and he kind of liked that idea, so that possibly could be a fourth way of doing the cast iron stout. It's a really good beer. It's a nice beer. Um, do I like it better on cask or do I like it better on draft? I'm a cask kind of guy, but it was so much smoother and creamier and stuff like that when it was on draft. But on cask, it's just got that raw edge, that sort of grabs you by the balls. And I kind of like that. That's what people say about me. You ever see Jonah walking down the road, just grab him by the balls? That's not an invitation, mind. Anyway, while I was there, I picked up some of these. And this is a session beer. This is the other reason why I'm going to do that tonight. Look at that, 3.4%. It's almost like water. And there's a nice scene, local scene. There we go. But yeah, it's Pier, which is where I was, and Elusive, who are a really cool other craft brewery from Wokingham, I believe. Um, really, really cool. Yes, so the artwork, I believe, where does it say? Anyway, let's have a look on the back. It does say somewhere on here. Here we go. Elusive Brewing creates beers with one eye on tradition and the other on taking things to the next level. So they're a bit like that, Elusive. Their eyes go all over the shop. Anyway, or maybe that's just my eyes. Who knows? Oh, and now we've gone out of focus, dear viewer. It's all going pear shaped. We love getting a brew on with our best pals at Pier. And this time around, we kept things super sessionable with this light and crushable pale ale, which we use UK hops, which is cool. Ernest, and brewer favourite Nelson Sorrel. And then we dry hopped with more Nelson and Nectaron, which I've had in another beer. I believe it was a Vocation beer. Nectaron, a really nice hop. Expect notes of gooseberry and nectarine with refreshing bitter finish. Um, it's unrefined, vegan friendly, all that kind of stuff. And this is a pretty good standard beer. Look, water, barley, hops, yeast. None of that other funky stuff. Best before April. Cool, so we're still in date. Store cold. Well, it was in the fridge when I bought it. It was in my bag on the train on the way home. And now it's going to be in my stomach very soon. I'm going to give it a pressure test because it is quite taut. So I don't want this to jizz everywhere. But then if it's only 3.4, would it do that? I don't know. We'll find out. No, pressure test done, and yeah, no explosion, which is always good. You know how we rolled, dear viewer. We don't like explosions on our trousers, not even on the weekend. Right, because this is slightly bigger, and I was worried that this might explode everywhere. I have got the Big Chunga, which is a weird kind of straight glass. I think I had this in. I think I had Guinness in it when I forgot that it was in my pocket. Anyway, dear viewer, it is a pint glass. That's why. Whereas my other tasting glass is not quite a pint, and this is a 440. So we will see if I made the right choice. Wow, look, the head is coming. I did tell you it would. Oh, Big Chungus, yeah, he's doing quite well here. Wow, that's cool. Is there any left in there? There's a tiny bit left in there, so this was a good idea. Wow, and look at that. Getting some real good sort of, look at that. I don't know if you can see the carbonation. Don't know why there's stuff stuck on the side. That's weird, but look at that. Rushing away. Crazy. And as a result, we are, where are we? 3 fingers? 3 fingers and the rest. 3.5 fingers. Definitely big head. Big head in big chungus. That's what I'm going to call this glass. So here we go. Here's Iron Pier and Elusive Brewing in the Big Chungus glass. Always have to stare at the head when you've got a Big Chungus, right? Yeah, that fit very nicely in there. It's almost the same size. Cool. What is he talking about? I don't know. Anyway, there are some super big bubbles in there, so this head is probably going to not hang around for very long. Look at that. Wow. It's like a Swiss cheese. My God, but perfectly perfect white head. Lovely kind of orange colour. That kind of colour usually says to me something like a NEPA style beer. But this I think is just a session pale. Yep, session pale. So it's not an IPA, just a pale ale. Nice mellow one, but a shed load of hops in this bad boy. Don't know about the gooseberry, but I'm definitely getting the kind of, yeah, they say nectarine, peach, sort of citrusy kind of thing going on, which is, oh yeah, I can see what they mean. It's the Nelson Sauvin. It kind of, for me, it's more, it gives me more high notes like Lotus, like, I suppose, yeah, I suppose gooseberries, grapes, that type of thing. Hence the name, dear viewer. If you didn't know, that's why this hop is called Nelson Sauvin, because of Sauvignon Blanc, the wine grape, etc., etc. Used to be a thing. Used to be a thing. Do you remember when they used to put grape skins into beer? That was a thing. And Brut IPA. Do you remember that stuff? Hey, it's not around anymore, so that fad did not last. But what has lasted is the Nelson Sauvin hop. It's a very nice one to use, especially in the new style beers, such as this one. I've been talking quite a lot because I get quite chatty when I've had a few beers, and I've had quite a few today. I think I had, no, I don't want to say, but I've had more than one or two. Put it that way. Wow. Wow. That really is hopped. Wow. Interesting, because there's quite a bit of hop bitterness there as well. So let me look here. So UK Ernest, that's probably where a lot of that greenery is coming from. That's really interesting. So that's where the bitterness is coming from too. So we've got quite a bitter. It tastes a bit like kind of nettle wine or nettle beer, if you've ever had that. Very green, very verdant. And then secondary, you get a little bit of the other stuff, but it's more on the nose actually. Yeah, interesting. I think the Nelson is there as well. But yeah, that green hit is really up front. I was expecting more, pardon me, dear viewer, more citrus, like orangey citrus, juicy citrus, that type of thing. But no, I'm not really getting that. I'm getting more hedgerow, green, verdant, gnarly stuff. It's good. And like, what was this? 3.5? Was it 3.4? Oh my God. 3.4% on the ABV. Wow. This beer tastes a lot stronger than that. I like that though. You can have a few of these. But then, because the hops are so overpowering, could you drink that really fast? Me, maybe not so. In the summertime, perhaps. But yeah, you could drink it, loads of it, because of the alcohol. Don't get me wrong, but just after a while, your taste buds would be like, "Oh, stop giving me this really hoppy beer." Oh, wow. I am actually genuinely surprised that this beer is so hoppy. My goodness me. Wow. That is amazing, dude. And I thought that this Delfino, yeah, interesting, man. I'm trying to work out, because I thought I was gonna talk about the Iron Pier guy. Um, oh, what's his name? Grant, Donald Grant, is it? Don Grant, something like that. I'll find out on the other ones. But Elusive usually do some sort of gaming. They're into their gaming. But this is not a gaming kind of thing. This looks very much like, yeah, looks like Deal Pier to me. But hey, probably not. But then they're not in the sea. That Wokingham's right in the centre of the country. So, what pier is that? Is that the pier? Maybe that's the pier that go. Is there a pier that goes from Gravesend? Don't think there is. I know it's where Pocahontas, that Indian lady, is buried. Um, but yeah, wow, really interesting beer. And I'm waxing lyrical longer than I should do, so I apologise. But yeah, this is a really nice beer. And if you get a chance, or if you see these guys, Iron Pier, give them a try, especially if you see their cast iron stout. But they do a lot of bottles and a lot of cans. So there's their canning line there. And I've got a few of those beers to try. Only got 3 because I had a few at the tap room. But hey, that's the way things go, isn't it, dear viewer? So yeah, thank you very much, Iron Stout, for hosting us. The reprobates from the Kent tasting panel. They even let us try some of some of their yeast. The guy that leads the tasting panel, he's got this thing. When we go to breweries, he'll get a runoff of the yeast, like yeast slurry, and then we'll all drink a bit of it. My God, it was ridiculously hot based today. But there we go. That's the Delfino by Elusive Brewing and Iron Pier. I do recommend them as a brewery. If you're in the area, definitely get down to their tap room as well because it's really nice and they're really friendly guys. It is a bit tricky to find because it's in the middle of nowhere basically. There's a good 25 half an hour walk from the train station. But if you ever find yourself in Gravesend or if you want to seek them out, you can do so. This has been Uncle Jonah talking too much. Um, so you guys are entertained. That's my main kind of thing. If you have liked this video, why not click like, subscribe to the channel and all that kind of stuff. Leave me a comment. Have you tried any of the Iron Pier brews before? I know they were at the GBBF, but I think they only took one beer last time, and they're not. I don't know if they're in the winter one this time. They might be. But anyway, take care of yourself until tomorrow, because I'm going to come back with more beer reviews real soon. Shalom.